find the 5-number summary for the following and make a box plot. And we also want to determine if there are any outliers in this data set. Okay, so the 5-number summary consists of the low value and the high value. Okay, there's also the median, or Q2, and then there's Q1 and Q3. Okay, first thing we want to do is determine how many data values there are here. Okay, so if you count these up, there's going to be 15 data values here. I'm sorry, 13, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? There's 13 data values, which is an odd number, right? So because it's an odd number, right, the position, right, the position of the median, or Q2, right, is going to be n plus 1 over 2. 14 over 2 is 7, right? So the 7th number in order, okay, will be the median. Okay, so if you count the 7th number, okay, the median is going to be right here. Okay, this is the median, or Q2. Now notice that it actually breaks up the data, right? How many values are below it? Now remember, we don't include the median here. We don't include Q2. How many values are strictly less than that? There are 6 values, right? This is called the lower half, and there are 6 values in the upper half. Okay, so similarly, we want to find the median of the lower half, right? Just of these 6 values. Okay, so we know that the median will be somewhere in between, okay, the 3rd and the 4th value here. So Q1 is going to be 2.15. Okay. And then Q3 is going to be halfway between the 3rd and the 4th value here, right, out of these 6. Okay, so then Q3 will be 2.85. Okay, just add these two together and divide by 2. So then our 5-number summary here, okay, is complete, right? We've determined all 5 numbers. We got the low value, we have Q1, we have Q2, we have Q3, and we have the high value. Okay, now in order to make the box plot, okay, we could just make our box first. Okay, we know that Q1, okay, is at 2.15. and Q3 is at 2.85, okay? So let's go by every, I guess we'll go by every 0.5, I guess, okay? So we know that 3.0 should be somewhere about over here, okay? And we can just draw the scale down here below, okay? So we can put 2.5 about over here, we can put 3.5 here, 1.5, okay? So the left side of this box represents Q1, right, about 2.15. Okay, the right side of this box represents Q3, okay, which is 2.85. Okay. The median, in this case 2.5, right? So the median should be about a line right about over here, right, about halfway in between, which is good, right? We always want the median to be about halfway in between Q1 and Q3. Now we notice that the low value, okay, so we're going to draw this whisker coming out to the left, right? About 1.8 over here. And where's the high value? It's at 4.0, right? So we're going to draw this whisker all the way up to the high value over there. Now to find any outliers, okay, we need to find the interquartile range, multiply that by 1.5. Okay, so in this case, the interquartile range will be Q3 minus Q1, right? So Q3 minus Q1, which is 2.85, minus 2.15, which is 0.7. Okay, but we have to multiply that by 1.5, and we get 1.05. Okay. So remember, this is the value that we need to subtract, right? So Q1 minus 1.05, right? In this case, gives us what? 1.10. So if there's any values that are less than 1.10, then that would be an outlier. But in this case, there are none. Okay. Then we want to go on the other side, right? Q3 plus 1.05. Okay, so 2.85 plus 1.05, that gives us what? 3.9. Okay, now take a look at this one, right? 3.9 is about over here. Wait a minute, there's a value that is bigger than 3.9, right? In this case, 4.0. So what does that mean? It means that 4.0 is an outlier. Okay, now an outlier is just a data value that sort of is outside the norm of what we would be thinking about, right? Maybe there's some reason why, right? Okay, so most of the values are bunched around over here, right? The median is 2.5. Okay, Q1 and Q3 are pretty close to the median, but 4.0 is all the way out here, right? So using this idea of the interquartile range times 1.5, we'll compare that to Q1, compare that to Q3, right? So we found that in this case, we do have an outlier of 4.0.